Intramuros is a 64-hectare stone citadel founded by the Spanish in 1571. It has survived wars, natural disasters, and a bunch of colonial invaders. There are 27 historical sites to explore inside Intramuros, and I think the best way to do it would be by pedicab. However, even though I really enjoyed riding around in a pedicab, I only found out later that there is still a lot of potential safety risks if you end up taking the wrong pedicab, or if you grab one off the street. So, here's a tip. I'm not sure if this is going to work 100%, but this is worth trying. If you're a little bit worried about safety and you don't know which pedicab to get, why don't you head over to one of the hotels in the area? There's a Bay Leaf Hotel, a White Knight Hotel, Manila Hotel, and there should be a couple of others as well. Head in there and ask the concierge if they could help you organize a registered pedicab. Maybe give them a little tip and then see if they can also help you negotiate a set rate for however many hours you want to rent the pedicab. Just remember, after you've had your day trip with the pedicab, you're probably also going to have to give him a tip. So keep a couple of small bills handy. You can also check out the video that I did on taking a pedicab in Intramuros and my experience in doing so. Intramuros is located along the southern banks of the Pasig River, and it is the oldest district of Manila. The name itself is taken from the Latin Intramuros, which literally means within the walls, which accurately describes the surrounding thick, high walls with both inner and outer moat. The outer defensive wall of Intramuros is kind of in a weird shape, following the contour of the Manila Bay and the curvature of the Pasig River. The walls rise up to 22 feet, or 6.7 meters. Construction of the defensive wall was started by the Spanish colonial government in the late 16th century to protect the city from foreign invasions. The approximately 1 kilometer square walled city was originally located on the shores of Manila Bay, but land reclamations during the 20th century subsequently obscured the walls of the fort and the bay. In the 1980s, under direction of the former Philippine First Lady, the Intramuros administration renovated the old citadel. At present, Intramuros is the only district of Manila where the old Spanish-era influences are still preserved. Much of the development of present-day Manila occurs outside the gates of Intramuros, leaving the old walls, the streets, the churches, and the other historically significant places within Intramuros minimally touched by modernization. That being said, a couple of fast food outlets have set up shop inside the walls of Intramuros. And the moats that surround Intramuros have been turned into a golf course. So best keep an eye out for some flying rogue golf balls. I think the best way to get to Intramuros would be via taxi to Fort Santiago in Intramuros. But be sure to check the time that you go and do not travel during rush hour, or you will sit in traffic for a very long time. You can visit the fort and enter Intramuros through the fort gate. And since this is a walled city, I'm not exactly sure where you can get in. I know for sure you can get in at the fort, and I know there's also a gate in the south. But other than that, I'm not sure how you enter and exit Intramuros. Of the 7 churches that were within the walls, only 2 remain. The San Agustin Church, which is the oldest building in existence in Manila, completed in 1607, and the Manila Cathedral, which was reconstructed in the 1950s. In terms of food and drink, I would highly encourage you to take a bottle of water with you. It gets very hot and humid. And if you're hungry, you can head to a shop called Ilustrado Restaurant, which is famous with tourists. And just before sunset, I would suggest you to head over to the Bay Leaf Hotel for a nice sunset cocktail on their sky deck bar. Alternatively, you can head over to the Manila Hotel, which not only has air conditioning, but they also have 3 bars and 4 restaurants to choose from. Guaranteed good food and entertainment, and a nice spot to spend the rest of your evening. Of course, these are the places that I visited when I went there, so best you give them a call and find out if the places are still open and in business before you head over there. Even though Intramuros is considered a tourist-friendly walled citadel, make sure you have your Google Maps to navigate around when you're there, especially if you want to DIY it. And even though the Philippine people are some of the most friendly and kind people you'll ever meet, there are still some districts in Manila that is regarded not safe, and you absolutely should not end up in one of those. Unfortunately, one of those is directly north of Intramuros called Tondo, and another one is directly south of Intramuros called Ermita. If this is your first time in Manila, please watch the video I did on safety in Manila before you start venturing out on your own.